world. How are you? It's Thursday night. You know what that means. Down in the basement. Gonna talk to some friends. It's gonna be a good time. Look at that. Sophie! God, you're so punctual. Look at this. Look at this. What's up, Lauren? Hope all of you. Hey, look at you.
Wait, I forgot my headphones, so I went to get them.
You get for being so punctual. You gotta be
That's-
ladle every once in a while.
I got them though, and Huckleberry is here, ready to join as well.
Oh my God. I'm not even joking. One of the things that I was gonna ask about was him. Look at him.
He
Huckleberry!
is eager for this tennis ball. Go on. So this is like the room that I'm sitting in is what we jokingly call Huckleberry's room because his toys are in here, so he thinks this is his castle.
Is it also like the music area?
It's the music area. It's like, I don't know, can you turn this stuff around? Like I have like my I have my guitars, I have my amp. I don't know if you can see this. Huckleberry.
Is that your Carson's amp?
Yes,
Which one is it that you got?
I have the Blue Sky. It just got repaired.
Yeah.
That's funny. Dale was joking about wearing my red Nike jumpsuit, and I'm like, I'm wearing pajamas. I literally can't see more than my face.
Oh my God, I love that. I adore you so much. That's one thing, that's like a rule I had to make for myself was I have to wear real pants because God, and like, I don't know where it could possibly devolve to if I let myself get that comfortable.
You look so nice. You look beautiful.
Thank you.
Like
I have
nice,
real pants on.
a nice blow dry.
I know, right? Yeah, that was one of the things. So like so one of the things that we originally talked about the other day was like, kind of getting practice into quarantine. And I feel like I had a year worth of practice, like having left my job and then like been home. It's like, oh, I went through the depression and suicidal ideations a while ago, guys. Come with me. I'll walk you through. It's fine. But one of the things that I had to start doing was I had to start doing my hair again because I would just wear pajamas like all day. I just have my hair up, but that's like one of the ways that I feel like myself is like,
it's
you have
true.
your hair.
It helps that like I at least have to walk the dog in the morning, so that gives me one. I have to be like semi-dressed to walk outside.
Right.
And that's it. That's all I do. Semi-dressed.
Huckleberry doesn't care if you don't have a bra on, though. I mean, that's like
he doesn't. He doesn't care. My neighbors, I'm not sure if they care either.
And more importantly, you don't care. And like, I never cared what my neighbors thought. It was so funny when you get used to living in the city and walking your dog all the time. It's like, I do not care what those neighbors see. It's always just raggedy.
I stopped wearing underwire bras like 2 years ago. They're terrible.
I need them. I don't mind them.
Can't.
Respect. Look, we gotta all find our bra preferences in life.
I'm like, who's listening to us right now?
I know, right?
Dale doesn't want to hear about bras.
Well, Dale, sorry. Girls talk about bras. So, yeah. Oh my God. That just sent me down a whole spiral of thoughts, too. Did you see that video that I posted about the what women actually talk about in the bathroom?
No.
Oh my God.
Can I guess, though? Can I guess?
Yeah. What do you, Sophie Brochu, think women actually talk about in the bathroom? No, but like for real, because that's like the whole premise of the.
I don't know. I haven't been in a public bathroom in so long.
One of the funniest experiences of being in Baby Money and the Down Payments is that it was my first band that it was all women, and we were just always in a bathroom together, like changing before a show and all of that. And I never did that before. So it was like this crazy sisterhood that happened. So now even on Zoom calls or something, I'll be like talking to Pam like, hey, we're going to the bathroom together. I gotta pee. I've been drinking coffee all morning.
Somebody said deodorant, sweatpants.
Yeah, the whole premise is that like whenever you see two women on TV, they always are like in the bathroom talking about men. And there's like apparently it's like some rating scale that they have for that. So yeah, that was the whole thing is that what women actually talk about in the bathroom.
I was going to say like I don't know, smoking a joint or something.
Right.
Or like maybe I would just say probably like I would give compliments in the bathroom to like make people feel like, hi, we're in the same really small space together. So I really like your shoes.
Oh, you're such a sweet person. So, speaking of being such a sweet person, that's one of the things that people raised in the South always get accused of being is very kind and hospitable. So, what was it like moving back to Savannah? Like, how long were you in Chicago?
I was in Chicago from 2007 to 2020. Um,
Mm,
very, it was a really difficult decision. Um,
mm-hmm,
so my husband and I came back in at the end of October. Our lease to our apartment was originally up in May, and we were looking at apartments. We couldn't really find anything, and we were so like. Sorry, let me back up a second. Last March, we were the week of the week that everything shut down.
mm-hmm.
Was the week we applied for our liquor license of the restaurant we were opening. We had a lease. We just got the liquor license. My husband had just done this pop up at a restaurant called the Loyalist as like
Mm-hmm.
like a preview demo kind of thing for
Mm-hmm.
friends and family and investors. And that was that pop up was the very last night of normalcy. That was that was March 9th, I think.
Yeah.
So anyway, we lost the space, defaulted on the lease, and when we were looking at apartments, couldn't really find anything. We were able to extend our lease for a few months, and then we just kept going back and forth throughout the summer on like maybe we can, because I was working remotely, like maybe we can rent an RV and just like move around a bit because we were in a like 1 bedroom loft, a really small space.
Mm-hmm.
And
With a
then
dog.
with the dog,
Yeah.
and but it was very stressful to figure out. You know, I have 9 a.m. Zoom meetings every morning, so I need
Right.
internet every day, all day.
Mm-hmm.
So just like the idea of trying to connect seemed really stressful. So we were looking at Airbnbs, and we said, okay, well, let's just leave then
Yeah.
because why not?
Yeah.
So we've been here since October,
Mm-hmm.
but we've just been, you know, we've been laying low. We haven't
Yeah.
been doing too much. He's doing some consulting work in Ohio, so he's kind of going back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, it's nice. It's been really beautiful here, nice weather, but it's weird. And we kind of just said like, let's see where we land, but we do like it here.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's weird. I'm kind of like I'm afraid for when the world opens back up
Right.
because I'm afraid I'm afraid I'm going to be like, what did we do?
Right. Yeah. It's like you move down and it's kind of like a weird, really long vacation that you're working through. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's like gotta be kind of a weird disconnect because you're not like out in the world. You're just kind of probably still feel like a visitor.
Yeah, I don't know what we feel like. I feel, it's so easy to romanticize the place that you're not in. So from
Oh yeah.
Chicago, I easily romanticized Savannah. And now that I'm in Savannah, I think fondly of Chicago, but it's sort of the case of the grass is always greener, right?
Oh God, yeah. Isn't it though? That's always the thing. Like I briefly lived in Western North Carolina right before I moved to Chicago. And that's where I thought that was what the plan was in my head. I really wanted to move to Western North Carolina. I'd fallen in love with the area. It was just beautiful. And yeah, I moved out to Winston-Salem and it was gorgeous.
Yeah.
But then I visited Chicago and like every ounce of my soul knew I needed to move to Chicago. Like I was just here for 6 days and I was like, oh, this is it. And I was like, this is ridiculous. I've only lived in the city I'm in for 4 months. But like that was just such a weird transition to like realize it was a stepping stone and like
Hmm.
move on from that. So I always have to drive through that city if I drive home to North Carolina. I go through the city that I lived in, and every time I'm just like, oh, Winston-Salem. It's like a lover that you let go because you know it just wasn't the right time in your life.
I have an obsession with revisiting old places that I lived.
Yeah.
like specific apartments,
Mm.
um, because of just simply the mind fuck of seeing them in a different context can be really trippy. So
Yes.
like I used to like in Chicago, I'd bike around to my old apartments and just like sit outside the door and think about like just reflect on who I was then and
I'm glad somebody else does that stuff. The first house that I lived in Chicago when I was living with Alan from the lead singer of Bad Bad Meow, when he and I were in a band together. Um, the house that we lived in, like over in Bucktown, they ended up tearing it down, and there's like this modern artwork $4 million house there now,
mm,
and it, like, talk about like a mind fuck. We played a show, like a house party, like bye bye show, like in the house, like the night before they were gonna tear it down, when he was like still living there. It's a
oh,
ruckus little evening.
that's kind
There
of
was,
sad.
yeah, it was really weird, but
If Brian Carson's, if you're still here, guess what I'm drinking? Um, Brian was down with his wife and daughter in Savannah last week,
Mm.
and they gave us a bottle of Amaro, and it's lovely.
Oh
But
my
it
gosh.
doesn't have a label on it, so I don't know what it's called.
You don't need labels. That's how Karsten's rolls.
It's special.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just magic. That's sexy though. That was nice. How was it that to see a Chicago friend down in Savannah?
It was really nice. They are both vaccinated,
Ooh.
and we sat outside on a dock and ate seafood.
Oh my God.
It was really nice.
I'm
Yeah.
like lusting over that experience right now. Like I miss the South. We were supposed to go to New Orleans for my 40th birthday last year, and I was so sad that that didn't pan out. Like, that's our other city. It's
Yeah,
got those good
I
vibes.
love the coast. I love the water.
Hmm.
That's that's the thing about living in a place like this. It's a much smaller town. I think you have to really be in it. You have to take advantage of those things, right?
Right. Absolutely. And I think that like you have that perspective now, having lived in the big city and like moved away, because Savannah's your hometown, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, like moving away and coming back, like you really do. It's like revisiting the place that you used to live, you know. What a different perspective you've
But I
got
don't
on it
know.
now.
I know Chicago better than I know Savannah. So okay,
Wow.
here's a fun fact number one. So we moved into this apartment building. It's off a highway. We moved blindly, like didn't
Hmm.
see it. But it's like a pretty cookie cutter like apartment complex kind of thing
Right.
because moving across the country, it's like pick a safe choice.
Yeah.
But what we didn't know was that we live about a mile. So it's like right off the highway. It's this
Hmm.
dead end road called Woodcock Road. And you go about a mile down the road and well, before a mile, it splits. The road forks, right?
Hmm.
And go left and it's some like, I don't know what it is. I've tried to Google it and I can't find anything. It's a plant. They make
Right.
chemicals. And if you go right, go about 3/4 of a mile and you end up at Old Fort Jackson,
Yeah.
which was built in 1808. It's like a national landmark. And it's just a bizarre thing to live up the street from this thing.
Yeah.
So I think they do like student tours and whatnot.
Hmm.
You can visit, but late at night it's abandoned, right? It's like quiet and there's no
Yeah.
street lights.
Yeah.
And my husband and I just like to walk down this road and walk to the end where you can look. It just feels really creepy and haunted. And so that's like what
Yeah.
we do in our spare time now is we walk down dark roads and look at and
Are you gonna do the new like Brochu Ghost Adventures?
I I am all about doing the ghost adventures. This is one of the most haunted cities on earth. Um,
Yeah. I've heard that before. I love that shit. That is my jam. Like that was like any kind of stuff like that. And we did that one time with because I've had various experiences. We didn't plan on talking about ghosts, but here we are, folks. Okay,
oh, I
so
did. I did. I wrote ghost notes actually.
I like it. Yeah, we did back in the day, my old band, we're tight with the guys at the one local radio station, and it was in this old movie theater in Jacksonville, North Carolina, where there's like a huge military base there called Camp Lejeune. And so allegedly haunted, lady murdered up in the projector room. It's always like a lady got
Mm.
murdered because, violence against women. So,
In the
um,
projector room.
yeah, projector room. That's one. But yeah, we like went in there and like filmed all this stuff, and like the craziest part that happened like during while we were there is I was standing at the bottom of the stairs while like a couple of the dudes were upstairs, like my guitar player, my bass player, and our buddy from the film crew. And I hear one of them walking down the stairs. And I think nothing of it. It's just like, oh, okay. So I like back away from the door because they're about to come out of the hallway door. And then I hear all this commotion and the lights come on. Turns out they had heard that too. They were all, and we had like all the footage. I gotta see if I can get this from Kevin because this was so dope. But like they were all just like walking around, and they freaked out when they heard somebody on the stairs because they thought it was me. So like we both heard whatever was on the stairs.
Oh, that's so
That
creepy.
that shit was dope. And about like that, talk about like sparking a ghost obsession. Have
Yeah.
you had any good stuff happen?
No, not here. Not yet. Mostly it's just creepy animal sounds, actually.
Mmm.
Some gators chirping and bird. I don't know, some weird like just no, animal noises, really from the
Yeah.
It's the marshy.
Oh, right, right.
Yeah,
I dig that.
I do too.
Dig
It's
that.
really relaxing.
What does it exactly sound like when? Can you give us an example of the how it sounds when an alligator chirps?
Um, yeah, it's like, uh, gosh, you put me on the spot.
You could also say no.
No, no, I can do it. It's sort of like a
You're such a
oh,
trooper.
I took a video of it, but now I don't know. It's like not what you'd, well, maybe you do know, like you can Google alligator chirping.
Well, like, is it kind of like when frogs do it? Is it more like that sound?
It's more like, no, wait, I don't want to do it because I'm going to do it really wrong. Here, can I just show, I'll just show you an actual example. Let's see.
I love this.
Like,
Sophie, this is making me entirely too happy. You don't even know.
uh, okay. Oh, there it is. Do you hear this? No.
It is kind of like a little frog.
Yeah, yeah, like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. I've heard that before, like at the pet shop, like the little Cayman alligators. Yeah,
Yeah, they're really cute.
that is cute, actually.
It's pretty
Oh,
cute.
little
Yeah, I think
gators.
so.
They get a little snappy. They're just trying to eat.
Yeah, they make really like peaceful sounds that I think is really relaxing, honestly.
Right. So, what's been some of the other stuff that's been have that you've been kind of dealing with while you're down there? Because I mean, in the middle of quarantine, you just this plan that you all have been working for with the restaurant crashing down. Now you're like just trying to do regular life. So what's been some of the highlights, if you will, of getting down there?
Highlights. Well, my family's here. My parents are here, so seeing them is really nice. And then,
Hmm.
and my husband's parents are right outside of Atlanta, so they're close too. Nice weather. It's been beautiful.
Right.
And then we're releasing an album tomorrow. Let's see, it's like
Hmm.
10, like in 2 hours it comes out, so that's exciting.
That's a little exciting, right?
Take hang on a sec. Can you hear me if I charge my phone?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Okay. Um, so we recorded before we left. We recorded this album and finished it, and we were working on it up until November.
Right.
So
Of 2019?
no, 20. I'm like, no.
2020.
Yeah, we were. I mean, by working on it, I mean mixing and mastering.
Oh, I was like, wait, you're already gone.
Yeah.
Okay. Keep going, keep going.
And then so we finished that like right at the new year,
Hmm.
and we're excited to be done with it, and just I'm excited to move on.
Yeah. Yeah, there's something about like just getting it birthed into the world so then it's done and you can keep going.
Yep, exactly. I think
Yeah.
it's taken a lot of, I think like putting yourself out there just takes a lot of emotional toll, at least for me, because
Right.
as Dave and Dale will tell you, I am so anxious about these things. So I
Right.
really just, I don't know, it just takes up a lot of my energy.
Yeah, that's completely reasonable. I mean, as the front person, I mean, it's like I, I've played an insane amount of music in my life, and nothing, so like from behind a drum kit, nothing was more terrifying to me after playing 1,000 shows than the first time I ever stood at the front of the stage with my guitar and a microphone, and everybody was looking at me, waiting for me to do the thing and
Mm,
say something. That is terrifying. But
yeah, I don't
then
get
I
nervous
did it,
about that
and
anymore.
it wasn't as bad. Yeah.
Actually, that's not true. I do, but mostly it's just like this idea of it's. I don't know. I think it's a weird thing too when you start putting music out there. It's like, what are you expecting in return,
Right.
right? And
Yeah.
that's sort of a weird feeling to seek. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I woke up in the middle of the night and I was thinking about this. I was thinking about how like we. I feel like I never really cared about being popular in my entire life. In fact, I
Hmm.
would rather not be.
Right.
And then, like, as soon as I started putting music out there, I'm like, oh my God, please accept me and please like me.
Right.
And it's like, I don't really think I'm that person. But at the same time, here's why I think this is the case. I feel like I care so much about it with music. I mean, really anybody, we are hardwired to want acceptance. It's like
Hmm.
self-preservation. So if you
Hmm.
think about it in terms of that, like as in terms of evolution, can you survive
Hmm.
without acceptance? Like, can you,
Right.
will anything last if nobody gives a fuck?
Yeah. You can say fuck. Don't worry. I'll put the little E on the episode. It's okay. But
Um,
truly, I mean, especially for mammals, I mean, but it's literally a matter of survival in the animal kingdom.
right. So I'm like, if we're not popular, then we don't survive.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking about last night. I had a really restless night. I woke up feeling really anxious, and um, I made some notes about this, and then I just remembered them now. So, do you want to hear what other notes I wrote down?
Absolutely. I want to hear that.
They're terrible.
Or
Uh,
beautiful.
no, I was actually writing. I was thinking about so Sarah and I talked the other day. You, Sarah,
Hmm.
I like talking to people, um, just about interesting facts at random, really.
It was kind of random.
And I was thinking about some of the weirdest facts that exist in my brain that interest me, right?
Give them to me.
Okay. So one of them, and then so they're in my brain, but I still made a couple notes because just to like get them right. So one of them is this 35-year-old acclaimed South African explorer. He was like an outdoorsman, was um, kayaking down this river. He was guiding two other guys from Oregon,
Hmm.
and he had done this a million times. I don't know what year this was, maybe like 2012 or something, but that's just.
Uh-huh.
And all of a sudden, a crocodile just snatched him, and
Uh-huh.
he said, "Oh my God," and that was it.
And then he was just gone.
Yeah.
That's what floats around in your head in the middle of the night.
Yes. And then there's another
I dig that.
one more crocodile thing. There's another guy. There's a documentary called Poncho and Cheeto, and it's
Uh-huh.
a man who in Costa Rica
Uh-huh.
he rescued a baby I don't think it's a baby, like a small adult crocodile,
Yeah, yeah.
and um, I think somebody had shot it,
Uh-huh.
nursed it back to health, and they're best friends. They the crocodile lives or lived, I think it died,
Uh-huh.
in like the lagoon in his backyard. And
Yeah.
he would go out and kind of slap the water to announce his entrance and swim, and they would swim. That's my husband. And they would swim together. And it's like the most beautiful story of friendship that exists in the world.
The man in his crock.
Yes, it's so beautiful. It sounds so unbelievable.
Right.
But it is so beautiful. They just like, they twirl around in the water and swim together. And it's like genuine friendship and trust.
All right, you have to like you realize that what we have to have happen next is not right now, but like over the course of the next couple days. Like you've got to get these links. We're finding these, we're posting them. These links will be in the show notes on the podcast on helloiamhumanpodcast.com because this is gold.
Okay, I have more.
Give them to me. Give me all these deep inner thoughts.
It's not like, this one's not funny. This is just another dark fact that, oh, my octopus teacher is really good. This is just another terrible thing that exists in my brain. There's a man named Jose Molina, and he was cleaning, and he worked for a tuna factory. And one day at the factory, everybody was saying, "Where's Jose? Where's Jose? His car's outside. His car's in the parking lot." Well, he was cleaning out the industrial oven, and they locked the door and they turned it on.
That's a horrible way to go.
Terrible thing.
Yeah.
And so those things, once you read these things, they never exit your brain and they just live with you forever.
Yeah.
I'll give you one more weird one. Okay.
Are you haunting? Is this part of the ghost notes where you're going to haunt everyone with these thoughts?
Well, they'll haunt you whether I'm there or not, I think.
That's true.
There was an elephant named Mary in the circus, a circus elephant.
This better be a good story about an elephant.
It's terrible.
I don't want to know a terrible elephant story. I'm revoking my interest.
I'll make it really fast. I read this.
Let me give you something really terrible. I'll make it fast.
I read this in 2011, I think. Literally recall it. So Mary the elephant, circus elephant, she had a tooth problem that was causing her pain. So she was acting out, but they didn't know that, right?
Sure.
So they were trying to figure out, she stomped on somebody or kicked somebody, one of her trainers. So they were like, well, obviously we have to kill her. So they were trying to figure out how. Well, they got a, what do you call it? Like a lift. They hung her.
No.
They lifted her up on a,
why wouldn't they just do it the easy and humane way and just shoot her?
I don't know.
I remember so speaking of restaurants and humane ways to kill animals, like we were talking the other day about that show on PBS, A Chef's Life, with Vivian Howard from Chef and the Farmer. And I remember she did an episode where she goes to her farmer, Warren's farm, and they're going to cook a hog. Because do you guys have pig pickings in Georgia, or is that a North Carolina thing?
If we do, I don't know if I've ever heard of that.
Well, pig pickings is a thing that we do in North Carolina, and you get a whole hog and you put it on a gigantic barbecue and you slow cook it all day. You have to get up at like 4:00 in the morning, vinegar sauce. It's the bomb. Come visit me in Eastern North Carolina the next time I'm down there. I'll have Wick throw us a big old pig picking. But anyway, so on the episode, they're going to have a pig picking. And I just speak like the things that you always remember. Like I just remember like Warren, the farmer, just shoots the pig. He like sees him. But I mean, that's like the real reality of food is that if you're eating meat, an animal was alive and then it is no longer alive. And I think that people get really disconnected from that. And I understand why people are vegetarians because of that. I understand why people are vegans because of that. Like, I get it. But also, like, I don't know, maybe it's because I grew up watching nature shows with my dad. Like, he always had nature shows on. So to me, like, there is something, as long as it's done humanely, it's like, it's a cycle of life.
Yeah, that shit gets really dark. a really big
I'm
hit.
not trying to get all dark and weird on here.
Yeah, you started it.
I started it. I was talking about ghost stories.
Just kidding, it was me.
I, I love you.
For some reason, I bring up this top. I like bring up that topic to like so many friends just over and over again.
Yeah,
We like start talking about that, and I'm like, why do I always end up back at like fucked up animal things?
because they obviously really bother you.
Oh yeah, we were talking about past lives the other day.
Yeah.
Um, and kind of as a thanks, Allison. Oh, my friend Allison. She's the best. We're exchanging some music together,
Oh,
and
I like it.
she released a single called Veil recently. And sorry, I got so sidetracked. It's really hard to not to be just not to just look at the comments and read them.
Oh my gosh, that's okay. But we can do that now. That's why God made editing. It's fine.
Um,
I've had to cut like some of our random like comment reading conversations out of like the actual show because I'm like, this is gonna make zero sense out of
right.
context. But
Okay,
that's okay.
past life. So once when I was
Past
in New
lives.
Orleans, kind of as a joke, I went to like one of those random hole in the wall psychics,
Yeah.
like in the touristy stretch. So I don't give it much credit. But she said, "Your past life, you were a French farmer." Um, and I was like, "Oh, that." I was like, "Oh, that makes sense."
Well, that was one of the things that I was going to ask you about is like you obviously have a connection to animals because the deer is like the symbol for Fauvley and Huck's always at the studio. So what are other studio rituals other than bringing the dog? Do you have any other ones? Because he's
Oh,
always at the studio with you, isn't he?
well, Huckleberry,
Yeah.
like he's kind of a problem. He also has a lot of anxiety. So he doesn't do very well um, by himself, and he also can't like I promise I'm not anti-vaccines. I'm not an anti-vaxxer, but Huckleberry had some crazy allergic reactions to his vaccinations,
Mm-hmm.
and now the vet won't vaccinate him. So he can't
Wow.
like go. We can't like board him, or he's technically not.
Got it.
He had brain swelling when he got vaccinated, like the last time, and the vet was like, "No more, no more shots."
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for doing that and not just saying, "Ah, well, I got to do it. Gonna kill
Yeah,
your
so
dog."
he got like a letter from the city exempting him.
Oh, wow. That's awesome that they do that. So he gets to,
Well, they
because
don't,
of that,
but she did.
he gets to spend a lot of time with his mom, which I'm sure likes.
Yeah. Otherwise, rituals. I don't know. I would probably say like plan. Oh, just a lot of planning. Oh,
Yeah.
hello.
There it is.
He's sleeping. I like to plan and make notes for everything. So like I would make every we've recorded. I've made like pretty thorough outlines, and I print them out for
Hmm.
everybody, and then nobody uses them, including myself. I just carry them around from room to room. I carry them around with a pen because it makes me feel like I'm in control.
Yeah, that's me. And I've always got my notepad while I'm sitting here because, like, I just need it's like this little grounding area. It just makes me feel safe. I know it's there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like, but I think that
Exactly.
there's some validity to just typing out thoughts because I've definitely done that, either handwriting or typing something. It really just commits it to your brain in a different way.
Yeah, I was kind of laughing at myself because the other day I kept making the same list again and again of things that I needed to do, but I wasn't doing them, like go to the DMV. But I just kept putting it on a
Yeah.
list
Yeah.
and ignoring it. Um, but it is like a control thing. I was, oh, can you hear me okay?
I can hear you now.
I think it's like, give it a sec.
Okay.
Okay. Are you there?
That was my intermission dance.
Okay.
I'm here.
Um, I was reading a little bit about how
What?
when you, similar to writing things down or like making lists, it's like like do you ever find yourself cleaning as a way of regaining control?
Oh my God, yeah. That's I get so much anxiety when the thing that we are bad about around our house is having clean laundry because it's like hard to find that like chunk of time in the day with like little kids to like do that. And so like if I'm busy at night, like it's not getting done. So we like I get so much anxiety about like the place being out of order, and it's like the easiest way for me to feel like I've regained control of my life is to clean.
Yep, exactly. That's
Yeah.
like Andrew was joking. Like if I'm hungover, I'm cleaning because I'm regaining control. But that only happens like twice a year.
That's smart. That's smart. The limiting the hangovers is always a good idea. I can't believe that like I used to exist with the amount of hangovers that I used to have in my life. Like I don't know how I did that even in my 20s. Like holy crap.
Yeah, no thank you. No thank you.
Yeah. What's have you picked up any healthy habits during quarantine?
I have picked up a habit of becoming obsessed with mahjong. uh,
What's that?
I play on the it's like the tile game. It's a Chinese
Mm,
tile game.
yeah.
Um, my mom my mom taught me how to play it a couple months ago, and I'm obsessed with it. I play it. I play it on
Yeah.
my phone. It's digital. I play it digitally. But
Hmm.
wait, did you say healthy or unhealthy?
I said
Which one?
healthy. Healthy, healthy.
I
Good
think it's
ones. Good habits.
okay. This is healthy. This is healthy because the this is a good habit because the issue is that when you like I'm addicted to my phone, so I can't stop looking at my phone and scrolling on my phone. But when I play,
Hmm.
I'll like open my phone and play mahjong. And I can't click in any
Hmm.
other windows, right? And I finish the game.
Right.
Um, Otherwise, habits. No, I don't think. Oh, well, I did a lot of puzzles at the beginning of quarantine. Um,
That's good mind stuff.
that was also an anxious thing because I could not. I like to read. I couldn't read. I was too anxious
Hmm.
to read. I didn't want to sit still. I didn't want to like
Hmm.
watch TV, watch movies. There's only so much cleaning you can do, so I did a lot of puzzles. um, I love puzzles, but I haven't. I since we moved, I have not
Right.
broke them out. But I would call that healthy habit. I think
I would say so. That's a good way to
puzzle.
direct your energy.
Yeah.
And it's good to
So game
you
like
gotta go through the
games.
seasons. Yeah.
Oh,
What's the
and
new game?
my in-laws taught me how to play yacht. My in-laws taught me how to play Yahtzee.
Yeah. I still don't know how to play Yahtzee. I'm 40 years
I
old. I
think
don't know
we
how
have
to
a
play Yahtzee.
slow connection. Hang on.
I think we do too. Getting that
Okay,
connection.
I'm frozen.
Oh, oh, let's see. It's catching up. It's thinking about it. It's thinking about it.
Okay, sorry, I lost you for a second.
I'm here. Are you
Okay,
here?
I am here.
There you are. Yeah, it was
Okay,
starting to get on a weird delay.
okay. So my in-laws taught me how to play Yahtzee. I had never
Lord.
played before, so we started playing like a ridiculous amount of Yahtzee every night before dinner.
That's funny. That's a good
All of
bonding stuff.
all of the habits I've developed in quarantine are like me being a grandma.
I think that's everybody though. People are baking bread, they're gardening, like they're knitting. Everybody like because that's what I get. Oh my God, I just had an epiphany. That's why, because that's what grandmas do. Because they weren't out doing all that busy shit that we do.
Yeah, you're home. Look, we can put a filter on this. Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like we're just home. Oh look, that looks. You're just home all. Sorry,
Right. Yeah. You're just
I
home
got
hanging
distracted.
out. That was one of the things that I always, that my wife, that Tanya and I always joke about. It's so funny about being
You
in
froze
quarantine.
again.
It's like now everybody's stuck at home again. So everybody's on like the same level as us because they're just like locked in, hanging out at home. We were talking the other day about how there's like the season for listening or the season for creating. Like when you said that, I just loved that saying.
Yeah, I think it's really true. We were talking about the feeling. There's this. I don't know if you feel this, like this internal pressure to always be producing something,
Mm-hmm.
like, or doing something, or
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, putting like things out there.
Right. Yeah.
Uh, and whenever I feel like I'm being hard on myself about not making enough progress, I have to remember, like, when it comes, it comes. When
Mm-hmm.
creativity comes in waves, I think.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
and it's like a season, right? You have like typically, for me at least, I think having that time away
Mm-hmm.
is um, it's important, but it's also, like, I would say it's less. It's not even that. It's not like a planned thing. It just is the way it is, I guess.
Right. Yeah. It's the cycles of
I don't.
life, and like it's a very Taoist way to look at it because even just in the course of a day, you have your cycles. We tend to wake up around the same time. We're going to need to eat within a certain amount of time. Some people eat right when they wake up, some people don't. And just knowing all of those cycles, and it works itself into your day, it works itself into just how your life plays out. But I mean, it's cyclical with creativity too.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you're right. You can't plan it. And that was I wrote that blog post the other day about that, where I'm just been busy working on the podcast and trying to get the website up and trying to do all of these little things. And I mean, I hadn't even really been journaling too often, which is like a practice that I really try to do in the mornings. And, but I've just been so busy. But I know the nice thing is that I'm buzzing around doing things that make me happy.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm still in like a positive place. I didn't feel like anxious or like scattered, like not meditating and writing, because like I was just so in the zone. And the other night I just like randomly put on that um Boy Genius covering Cowboy Take Me Away, and it has become like my new, like, for the last few days I've just been obsessively listening to this song like a meditation. And like that first night that I did it, I just like had it on repeat, 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 repeat. And I just like all of this like thought just started coming out of me. I had this like crazy existential experience, like, and connecting to my mom's spirit. And like I just had this like download of inspiration and clarity come to me. And it was like, you can't plan for that. I could not have done anything to make that happen. I just was calm, I was relaxed, I was focused on the song, and it just exploded. And that's why you have to get quiet.
I love the way you described a download. As I've never heard it described that way.
Yeah. Oh man,
But
that's exactly what it feels like.
it makes so much sense. So there's the I was telling you about the Dale turned me on to this the Nick Cave newsletter, Red Hand Files.
Mm-hmm.
And there's one I bookmark because I love this. And he says the idea of lyrics not coming is basically a category error. What we are talking about is not a period of not coming, but a period of not arriving. The lyrics are always
Mm-hmm.
coming. They're always pending. They're always on their way toward us. But often they must journey a great distance and over vast stretches of time to get there. They advance through the rugged terrains of lived experience, battling to arrive at the end of our pen. In time, they emerge, leaping free of the unknown, from memory, or more thrillingly, from the predictive part of our minds that exist on the far side of the lived moment. Like, isn't that amazing?
Oh my God. That is so good. Let me tell you, that was a fucking download that he was typing right there. Like that's
So,
like,
so his newsletter, he answers questions. So somebody had asked
mhm,
him something about lyric writing. The lyrics are
right.
and obviously this I think applies to more than lyrics, right?
Oh God, yeah.
Um, I love that. It's like you have to trust the journey to get you
Yeah,
there.
and absolutely. And there's that I don't know if you've heard of the book Big Magic that Liz Gilbert wrote, the same
Hmm.
like same one that wrote Eat, Pray, Love. I've read it twice now. It's just so good, and she talks about that kind of in the book, and as a writer about how inspiration is like a force, and it's like always out there. And
Yeah,
so it's have you ever had she tells this crazy story about like she had
I
this
know it.
whole fleshed out idea. Have you read it?
I haven't read that one, but I heard her give a TED talk on it about
Oh, yeah, and about
sorry,
like
continue.
about like um the idea is out there, and it's just trying to find the person to
Yeah,
do it. And
you're the
if
vessel.
you don't, yep, and if you don't do it, it's going on to somebody else. And I just love that so much. And like, I think that for me, inspiration is completely synonymous with spirit, like it's all the same thing. It's that thing. It's the Tao. It's like the thing that connects all the stuff.
Hmm. I think so too. But the thing is that while I think the best sparks are that, not all of them are.
Yeah.
Like I think you can still be creative without intercepting from the universe. Just in your like work ethic and effort. But I think the
Mm-hmm.
magic, that's like where the magic is
Yeah.
in the universe. Has that happened to you? Have you experienced that?
Oh, 100%. Because exactly what you say, like it feels very romantic to just say that it's a download, and it is that, but it's also all of the work that has to happen along the way. Like whenever we watch, we're like our kids are really into dancing, and so like we'll watch like the Russian dance from the Nutcracker. Like my boys love that, and so we always make a point to say, wow, they really practiced a lot to be able to dance that well. And like, that's the work. Like, the magic is what happens in the moment, but
Oh,
it's
I love.
all the damn work.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting. I always feel like that with songwriting. It's like maybe something will come, and then you have to develop it and put the effort into bringing it into fruition.
Hmm.
But sometimes there's just like a little thing that comes, and you think, where did that come from?
Hmm. I think even in the midst of
Sorry,
the
oh
work,
shit, you're
you really end up
buffering again.
still. That's a big practice that I've been. Is, is it buffering again? Damn you, internet. Can you hear me? Oh,
Mm-hmm. Now I can.
you can hear me?
Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that one of the things that I've really started practicing is like as I'm in the midst of doing the work, I have to just like keep
Mm-hmm.
coming back to the moment and like really like trying to catch that wave again. Like that's the way that I work. Like if I get too heady about it and like too thinky, I know that
Mm-hmm.
I like start putting up resistance, and that's when the overthinking takes over. And like my big practice in the last, I don't know, 6 months has been catching myself in that moment where I start thinking too hard and thinking too much, and really just have to connect back to the moment, come back to my breathing, whatever it is, like come back to the song, and just turn all that off. Do you got me? It was buffering while I was talking. Did I lose
Yeah.
you?
Keep going. Yeah, I'm here.
Sophie! You're here.
So
Okay.
stupid.
Yeah, how about you? Do you how do you work through that when you're chugging along? How do you feel your way to the thing that's right versus the thing that you're obsessing about?
Well, I think if you think too much about, like, for me, if I start to over analyze songwriting, it's
Mhm.
because I'm thinking about an audience or what I should sound like or who I want to sound like. If I stop doing that and I just trust my instinct, then I'm going to sound like myself.
Mhm.
Um, so I think the balance is trying to challenge yourself to push yourself, but also sound like yourself at the same time without overthinking what you should sound like according to an audience that doesn't even exist.
Right.
Does that make sense? So
Oh,
like
I totally get that.
if I'm like trying to write something and I'm like, well, this lyric is too boring. Um, but like according to who?
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I just don't like to overthink any of that stuff. It's just I don't know. I like to let things just happen naturally,
Mhm.
and to let them come. Like, I actually really enjoy if we're working on a song, um, I want to play it live before it's ready because
Right.
that is where the energy starts to shift a little bit. So, like,
Oh yeah.
I will want to play a song. It's so stupid, but like maybe before the lyrics are done for people
Mhm.
because sometimes things come to you on the spot and that's what is meant to be.
Oh, 100%. And you're gonna know by your reaction, even internally, like how it feels to do it, if it
Exactly.
needs to change or yeah, I love the expression clarity follows action.
Hmm.
That's like such a good one that I think is just so real. We just watched the Amy Schumer's documentary where she's like pregnant and doing her most recent special. And like I mean that's what comics are doing. I think that not enough bands do that. Is just really like spend the time with the song. There's like the balance between doing the song and letting it just happen in the moment and then like crafting it and like birthing it over a period of time.
Yeah, I just really like doing that in public or like it work. I like workshopping things with people. I like
Mm-hmm.
feedback. I like sharing that energy with people. Like I don't want to appear before people in some perfected glossy image. Like I want to share mistakes and
Mm-hmm.
oh my gosh, it all comes back to the name of your podcast. I want to be human for people.
Yeah.
So that's what to me that's always what Fauvley's been about it's about making mistakes and
Mm-hmm.
in front of people and that's what I've been doing.
I mean, it's the realest way to connect because I think that oftentimes we want to pretend that things are perfect and sexy and that they can be that way, but like that is just not life, you know? And people can smell that and we're directed towards either at any moment. Like some people are more directed to like I just need to see somebody that's perfect and polished and like that's not really ever been my jam. Like, I just want to see people that are real. I want to connect, you know, like, let's do this. Like, let's be humans together.
Oh yeah, that's so true. It's like I'm reading the comment.
Oh, yeah, Zach,
I feel
totally,
like
totally, dude.
never finish like even like literally we haven't even released this album yet, but when I listen back to it I'm like should have done this there and I get so obsessed with
Yeah.
how I would have changed it and it goes on
Hmm.
ever and ever.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I also it's also really fun to have like a recording is a time capsule. It's just a moment in time.
Hmm. Yeah.
So you
Yeah,
can't
that's one. Go.
go just like it's easy to start thinking that you are that recording and then I'm like this shit is
Mm.
not this, whatever. Some you are not your song.
Right. That's real. Like, I've never heard it phrased like that. And man, that hits home. That's good.
I don't
It's
know.
so true.
Wish I loved everything that I put out into the world, but it's like embarrassing. It's like really embarrassing.
Oh, yeah. Like, I feel like there's always like, everybody's got like their favorites on the record and the ones that are like, meh. I mean, so I did a bit of a deep dive on your old band's Bandcamp
Mm-hmm.
the other day, and like I hit up your very first Fauvley released. Watch me overcomplicate this. Outstanding. I love how raw and human it is. And then like went back to that videotape recording.
Mm-hmm.
That was dope. And like, what's what was the first thing that like you put out musically that you were like, this one, I'm proud of this one, even just the song? What was the first one?
Well, videotape was my friend AJ. That was his project. So like
Mm-hmm.
I wrote the lyrics and I sang the vocals or whatever. I sang the song. But it always felt like not my project because he would come
Mm-hmm.
with the song already um, outlined. So I was
Mm-hmm.
singing music. But there were a couple songs I really loved that I really like. But anyway, I didn't start writing my own music until I was like, I think like 26.
Wow.
And wait, sorry. The question, I'm trying to think like, what was the question?
So the question is, what was the first like thing, like song that you put out and you're like, I'm super proud of this one. Like this one is what I wanted. I love this one.
Oh, I'm still waiting for that to happen.
That's such an honest answer. I love that.
No, like my favorite part of, okay, I would say there's a song. So the first Fauvley song I wrote, meaning the first song I ever wrote like myself, I was not
Mm-hmm.
sure it was a song. When I finished it, I was like, I'm not sure. There, oh, what is that song called? There's a song, there is one videotape song that I love so much. It's not Between Me and You, Dale. It's, I don't even know. I'm like thinking I don't even know how to access these songs anymore. I'm gonna tell you what it is though. So I would say like probably, but like the Watch Me Overcomplicate This EP felt like the first time I was able to communicate something via a song that I wrote.
Mm.
Okay,
Mm.
but I will say, Videotape is the name of the band that I was in, and the album is Underwater Weather, and the song is called Dunes.
Yeah.
Oh my god! It tells me I go to play it, and it says, "Open thy wallet."
For your own stuff. We'll put a link. We'll put a link. I
I
like
think.
it.
Well, point being, I think the song is called Dunes. I love that song. It was the first time I like felt like I was um like when I was singing it,
Mm-hmm.
it was um I don't know. It was the truth.
Right.
Um versus like the truth versus this fits over the chords.
Got it. Right.
Uh, but for like Fauvley was that the first EP was like just me doing a lot of the figuring it out of like what
Mm-hmm.
is songwriting and how do I do it.
Right.
Which is why it's called Watch Me Overcomplicate This, because it's about all the ways in which I told myself that I could not write my own music,
Mm-hmm.
and, you know, for like my entire life.
Right.
And then um, I realized that it wasn't that hard. It wasn't that complicated.
It's not that complicated. You could Anybody could do it, folks. It's kind of true though. I mean, isn't that kind of the beauty of music is like you really can like even if you sing out of tune, you can still make up a song and hum it along, right? I mean, that's like music is just such a natural art form in that sense because so much of it you do with your own body.
Hmm.
And I think that that's what makes music so different than every other medium.
Yeah, it's so it's very instinctual, right?
Hmm.
It's an interesting blend of mind and body.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's even more fun when you get to do it with other people. Like they've done like studies on like what happens to your brain when people are harmonizing and stuff like that. So speaking of which, like what was that like? You guys were just on Audio Tree Live. What was
So
that like after such a long hiatus of, literally being in a room together? Like how was that to get to spend a couple days with your band and be in a room together and play music?
so fun. We practiced Wednesday night and Thursday night both for 3 hours. I stayed with Dale and Gina um,
Hmm.
for um, for Wednesday and Thursday, and I think I had like a full blown panic attack on Thursday night. I got I like ate a gummy and got really scared. Um, where was that? Whatever. I guess it doesn't matter. Just the point is, it was great. It was so fun.
The memory of the gummy comes back. Look, man, if you get too big of a gummy, I definitely like messed up the one night and like ate more than I thought I had. And I was just like, wait, why am I so high right now? Like I was like, oh, because I took like
Mm.
50% more than I normally would. Yeah. That'll mess you
Yeah.
up,
Well,
man.
our first practice, I left feeling like I don't even know if I like these songs anymore. And
Right.
then Thursday night we really clicked, and I was like, oh yeah, that this I do like these songs a lot.
Hmm.
And I just get so anxious and nervous, and like as soon as the cameras were rolling, I my mouth was so dry that I was like snarling. I felt like a rabid dog. I was going like my lip was like getting caught on my mouth. Like it's like embarrassing.
I gotta go back and watch that. I got like I missed the first two songs when I caught it live. So by the time I was watching, you weren't snarling. So you must
Yeah,
have
so
had some water.
stopped.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
missed. I actually don't think it was very obvious. I think we really worked so hard on everything leading up to that. So
Hmm.
it's really about just getting tight and getting on, on each other's wavelengths. But you know, we know these songs inside and out. We just had to
Hmm.
brush up on them really and be natural and play them with good energy, I think. Um,
Yeah.
I'm so proud of everybody. It was like, it's such a, now now it feels like even more of a privilege to play live music, right?
Oh yeah. I bet. I still haven't done it. Like I got together with Pamela. We were masked up, Pamela from Baby Money and the Down
Yep.
Payments. I was like we had a masked up hang. We like sat around and played some guitar and she like sang me a couple songs that we're going to start working on. And I mean, that was just exciting. I can't imagine like being in a room playing drums and like hitting things and with
Yeah.
other people. Oh my God, I want to do that. I had gone on a little like self-imposed hiatus a couple months before quarantine happened. And I'm really glad that I had because I don't even want to know what the depression would have been like if it was like everything and also missing that on top of it because man, I was in some dark, dark places.
Yeah, I think I felt that even more the first time we practiced post quarantine.
Mm,
When we finally decided to get in a room together again after
hmm.
months, it felt like uh, just I don't know. It was just it's just sad. Like life without music is really sad. Without playing
Yeah,
music.
yeah, yeah. It definitely made me lean more into playing guitar and writing a little bit more, and that's been really nice. Is just reconnecting to playing guitar because I was playing so much guitar like 10 years ago because I wasn't playing a lot of drums at the time, and like just having that outlet is like so great. And obviously, I've got the drums all set up and doing that. But it's not the same. Like as much as I love like hanging out, like I've never been the one that's like I just want to hang out in my room and like hit my drums. Like that's fun and I enjoy it sometimes. But like I don't know. I want to do it with people. I like making music with humans. I like
Mm,
humans.
me too. Yeah, I think we're just trying to figure out how we're going to keep doing that. But um, I love that we have like Beautiful Places comes out tomorrow, and that is the July/August time capsule, and then the following week the Audio Tree version comes out live, and
Cool.
it's cool to hear them back to back because I don't know the context of the time that passed, I guess.
Right. Yeah, you guys have so much lived experience in those in a matter of technically months. It wasn't even a full year. But that's what I think has been so wild about this time that we're all living in is it's like such a condensed form of life because so much is going on. Just
Mm-hmm.
in politics alone. I mean, if you think of what happened in the last year politically and socially, like wow. It's nuts.
I
And
think a
so
lot of people frame it as like a year that has been wasted, and um, while so much was on hold,
mhm.
there's still a lot of room for terrible thoughts. No,
Oh
for
yeah.
honestly, for like a lot of personal growth and
Mhm.
like things still happen. When I reflect on the past year, I feel like a lot happened, and even though most of it felt really stationary.
Right. Well, it goes right back to what we were talking about earlier in the show. It was like it's the time for listening or creating is it's the yin and the yang. Is it's the passive yin or is it the active yang? And I think that a lot of people and especially people of any age, but I think, people in our age group category and also creatives, there's so many people that are just so used to going, 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 doing, doing, doing. And then when you have to stop, it's literally panic inducing. I mean, that's how I felt when I left my job. Like that first Monday, I was like, yeah, this is great. I'm going to be a stay at home parent. This is great. By Thursday, I was fucking so depressed. It was scary. Like, it was scary how fast it changed because I just all of a sudden felt so useless. And I know that so many people experience that during quarantine. And yeah, that is hard.
That's why the puzzles were good.
Yeah, you got to keep your mind occupied, man.
Yeah.
Are you there? Am I losing you? Is it clicking?
No, I'm here.
Damn these connections. Oh my gosh. So Sophie, I want to tell you that I love you and I'm super excited for this record that's coming out tomorrow. You know what? No, no, no. Real quick. So tell the story about the video from the French filmmaker.
Okay. Okay. So we have this video coming out for the title track, Beautiful Places. And so back in 2018, I released this music that I've since taken down because I, I was embarrassed about it. Um, but it had like, whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm not even going to sit here and do this. Just the point
Fast
is
forward.
that somebody reached out to me on Instagram and said, "Oh, I like your music," and that was it. And then 3 years later, they sent me. This is like a few months ago. They sent me this video that they had made, and I was like, "Oh
Mm-hmm.
shit, that's really beautiful. I really like that." I said, "Do you ever?"
Mm-hmm.
I don't know this person. Their name is Dominique. I said, "Do you like music videos?" Just out of curiosity. And uh, long story short, they made us a music video, and he just did the most beautiful job. It is amazing. It's sort of I sort of told him the story behind it very loosely. And the
Mm-hmm.
song, it's sort of the perfect song for this project because
Oh yeah.
I think it's one of the only songs on the album that I wrote for a friend, inspired by a friend, and from this person's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
So he had an actress like playing this role in the video, and I don't know, we just like sort of developed a nice little email friendship, and like really on the same page about the vision, and
Mm-hmm.
um just like an honestly really lucky connection, I guess. I love how it came out. I'm excited for people to see it, and I guess I think that's all I want to say until people see it.
Yeah, it's I admitted to you, sorry Dave, but I admitted to Sophie the other day that I saw an early clip of it, uh, courtesy of her drummer who I'm friends with, and it's so good. Like I wasn't he even wore he's like Sarah, it's too good, and like it really is just so good, and I am super freaking stoked for people to see that, and I think that that's so cool that you just like met him over Instagram and over the internet. Like there's so much cool stuff that happens because I mean, like literally this show is happening because of that.
Yeah,
You know, it's because we can do that.
it was a lot. I don't know. I think it um was meant to be. I
Oh
guess.
yeah. Clearly it was because it happened. And isn't that the beautiful way that like life just happens if you let it?
Yes. Whenever I'm anxious, I'll just be like, tell myself, this is where I'm supposed to be. This is where I'm supposed to be. This is where I'm supposed to
Yeah,
be. And
totally. Did we talk the other day about like the remembering how to do something thing where it's like it's already done. You just got to remember how to do it.
no,
No? Oh my God, I swear.
I don't think
See?
so.
Now I'm just making up a conversation. But yeah, that's like one of the things that
What is it?
that I well, it's like the idea that if if time is just an illusion, right? Like if time and space are a mental construct
Hmm.
and then everything happened all at once, then whenever you're doing something, it's already been done and you're just
Mm.
remembering how to do it. And like that's just like such a mantra that I've like learned to start telling myself in like recent months is just like, you know how to do this, you just got to remember. And like whether it's like as I'm like working on stuff for the show or even just like when I was mixing this like last record that I was working on, it's like you know what it sounds like. You just got to remember how to get it to the end.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. Try that one when you're working on some music. That's some mind bending shit right there. At least
Already.
it is for me.
Yeah. No, that makes so much sense. It's already in you.
Yeah, it's already in you. You're just remembering how to do it.
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah, I'd like that. Sophie, I want to tell you again that I adore you and thank you for coming on and hanging out with us. Can you plug all of your stuff for me real quick? Where can everybody find you?
Yeah, Fauvley new album called Beautiful Places. It's on all streaming services. Right now it's a digital release. And we have shirts too on Bandcamp that Dale designed, and they're so cute. Um,
I've got one.
and what else? Yes, he did. Well, I don't know what else I would say.
What's the website?
Look out for our album, and then FauvleyMusic.com. And then we have the Audio Tree following right after that. And
Mm-hmm.
then we'll be doing more stuff after that. On
I
and
love
on
it.
until we die.
That's the plan, right?
Yeah. Thank you for having
All
me.
right,
This is
you.
nice to talk.
Oh my God. It's been so fun getting to catch up with you and like I'm gonna we'll talk more about the remembering how to do stuff because I think we're gonna be making some of this and some
Love
of
it.
this. All right.
Yeah.
Have a great night, Sophie.
Okay. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye. Good night, everybody.